Blog Talk Radio.
Muzzin dropped it to nobody. Just rolled through everybody. Phnom came back to get it. Down to 23 seconds left to go. Senators have time for one more rush. 1-1 game here in the third period. Worked into the middle. They'll send it to the near side, trying to get to Carlson, who is cutting in. Shot, save, rebound, score! They score! Mark Stone! Mark Stone with 6.5 seconds left.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wet Island postgame show for November 11th, 2016. The Los Angeles Kings at the Ottawa Senators. I figured I'd begin with that because, to be quite honest with you, I don't even really know where to start. You know, I have a format into which I do these shows, and like I'm gonna get into that same exact format, but it's just. Look, there's going to be games where the rug gets swept out from under you. Over the course of an 82-game season, there's going to be games like the ones that we witnessed tonight. The thing of it is, 15 games in, the Kings are 7-8. There's too many times where I'm going to come on here and just say, okay, relax. Everything's going to be fine. The Kings are a good hockey team. I was the guy saying this when the Kings dropped the first 3 games. Well, now we're 15 in. Now, I'm not saying that it's time to like press a panic button or anything like that. But we are 15 in. So what? You know, I said it when there were 3 games in. There was plenty of games left now. Well, now we're 15 in. So how many more games is it going to take for us to go, okay, we really desperately need a change? And I know that people out there, like Kings fans out there, are going to say, like, well, okay, well, wait till Gaborik. Yes, we do need Marian Gaborik back. And I know people out there are going to say, well, it's unfortunate because our top goaltender went down. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe. But we didn't lose tonight because of goaltending. I have an issue with the line combinations tonight. We didn't lose tonight because of Daryl Sutter's line combinations. Let me just say one thing about our goaltending situation. I agree that we do miss Jonathan Quick. I totally agree with it. But we probably agree for different reasons. I think we miss Jonathan Quick because his best quality is that the club believes in him. And the club wants to play for him. Not saying they don't want to play for the other 2 goaltenders. That's not what I'm saying. So everybody out there who said, like, I'm not saying they don't want to play for a guy like Zatkoff or Budaj. What I am saying is they love to play in front of Jonathan Quick. And quite simply, he's just not there right now. So there is a lack of belief amongst the boys. I fully believe that they don't believe in the goaltenders that are playing between the pipes right now, whether it be Zatkoff, Budaj, Campbell, whatever it is. They have a full-on belief when Jonathan Quick's in the net. So at 7-8, yes, we are depleted by injuries. I don't think that's why we lost tonight. But we desperately need the players that we're missing. The reason we lost tonight, I mean, look, as I said, like, I don't think it was a goaltending issue. Obviously, Peter Budaj made a mess of that Mark Stone game winner, a complete mess of it. So technically, you actually could put it on goaltending tonight. But you know, Jeff Zatkoff was very, very good. Unorthodoxically, that's not a word, but he was very unorthodoxically good. And then actually, I think that this type of game, it was until the last 3 minutes, it was a very, very awkward game. And Jeff Zatkoff is a very awkward playing goaltender. So he was actually It fit. He was in his world. That actually fit him. He was pitching a shutout because he was an awkward goalie playing an awkward game. It felt normal to him. When Budaj came in, Budaj didn't necessarily play that bad. Obviously, the Zach Smith equalizer wasn't his fault. It was just a good tip. But he totally made a mess of it with 6 seconds left when Mark Stone put the winner in. And not to be unfair to Peter Budaj, on the first goal, I actually thought Jake Muzzin got interfered with. On the first one, I don't think he got interfered with on the second one. So I would, if I'm working in Toronto, not to be biased, I would take one of those goals. One of those goals needs to come off the board because I actually think Jake Muzzin was impeded, but then him being impeded Peter Budaj on the first goal. But that didn't happen. The Ottawa Senators win 2-1 in a game that really the Kings had no business losing. Anze Kopitar got hurt. He went down the tunnel twice. All I could think about when I saw Kopitar go down the tunnels, what a stupid hockey game to get injured in. Like a nothing hockey game. Nothing was happening. Literally nothing happened. Even when the Kings scored, it was a nothing goal. It just happened to go in. Nothing was happening. Nobody was doing anything. Literally in my notes, I have the least amount of notes that I've ever took for a hockey game when I've been doing Wood Island shows. Barely anything was happening. And Anze Kopitar just, on a simple play, ends up clutching himself, and now we might be without Kopitar, Zatkov, which he's not going to be the starter anyway, and Brady McNabb, Andrioff, and the list goes on. Stupid game for him to get injured in. Hossa ties the game against the Capitals with 22 seconds left. If anyone cares, but I have it on the TV, so I figured I might as well report it. Again, as I said, line combinations are not a reason why we lost the game, but I am starting to take issue with these line combinations. Here they are, though. Purcell, Kopitar, Pearson, the same as I've been saying always. Dwight King, Jeff Carter, Toffoli, Brown, Dowd, Zetaguchi, and Clifford, Shore, and Trevor Lewis. Doughty, Forbert, Muzzin, Martinez. Muzzin Martinez has to. That pair cannot be a pair anymore. Jake Muzzin, obviously he's not as talented he's not as good as Brent Burns, but he's Brent Burnsy as far as the way he actually plays. So he needs a guy that he can't play with a guy like Alec Martinez who also likes to get up ice. And you're seeing it that they're not good defensively because there's not a common goal. Both of them want to get up ice. So that means they would prefer not to defend. So you need a guy, whether it be with Alec or with Muzzin, but you need a guy who's willingly going to defend. And Jake Muzzin, to me, is the second best defenseman on the team. I think that he needs a partner who is a more stay-at-home-ish. I don't think Alec Martinez benefits Jake Muzzin, or vice versa, whatever you choose. But either one of those guys, they don't need each other. They need somebody else. And that they've been, again, against Montreal, they were bad. They've been bad for a while. That's not a good defensive pairing. And actually, they've become more of a liability than anything else, defensively. Tom Gilbert and Kevin Gravel, with Jeff Zatkoff in goal for at least... I missed the exact point of when he went out. But Jeff Zatkoff started the game. Peter Budaj finished the game in miserable fashion. So I suppose we'll go through this uneventful game. Riveting stuff tonight from Scotiabank, if it's even called that anymore. I'm unsure. The best scoring chance the Kings actually had was Dustin Brown, very, very quickly into the game, point blank. But it's Dustin Brown, so where's he putting it? Not knocking Dustin Brown. I think that he had a good game tonight. But he had the best chance, and Craig Anderson made a good save. Let me say a quick thing about Craig Anderson. Very, very underrated goaltender. Very underrated. And that kind of stinks for the Kings that to walk into Carey Price last night, best goaltender in the world, and then Craig Anderson, I'm sorry. Craig Anderson, a very underrated goaltender. Frustration galore tonight, honestly. I want to hear it. I want to hear your frustrations. If you happen to be listening to the show live, the number is 602-753-1528. I'll say it again. 602-753-1528. If you have bro, I'm just taking calls as they come. So if you do want to call, I'll take it right away. There's no certain time where, okay, let's go to the phones. You want to call, you want to vent, I'll take it. Kyle Turris trip at 5:33. Nothing really comes of it. A great chance. Nick Dowd has a great chance on this power play, and Setaguchi has a chance to bury the rebound, but he just kind of misses it. Kopitar has a chance. He delays. I don't feel like Kopitar has enough faith in his shot for some reason. Because Kopitar had a bunch of chances tonight, and neither of them found the back of the net. Dowd had a beautiful move, a beautiful little pull and drag move, and rang one off the post. Nick Dowd is so freaking good. Like, Nick Dowd's creativity, God, he stands alone almost. The thing about Nick Dowd is, first of all, like, I love his size. He's not out there, like, he actually can bang a little bit too. But what I love about Nick Dowd is offensively and going forward, he just brings new ideas to the table. And Lord knows the Kings need some new offensive ideas. And Nick Dowd totally brings that. I will say this. Again, when I was talking about the line combinations, yes, they were not the reason we lost tonight. But it's just there's not enough on either of these lines. So when I was talking to my cousin today, we were talking about switching these line combinations up. I would love to see Nick Dowd between skill instead of with these two wild card guys like Dustin Brown and Devin Setaguchi, who just kind of it's like balls to the wall, but there's just not enough skill there. I would love to see like a mixture of Kopitar, Pearson, Toffoli, Carter, Dowd, and Teddy Purcell. Whatever combination you want to make out of those six guys, that needs to be our top six. Now, what you do with the bottom six, now I would love to see Lewis and Dustin Brown on a line on the bottom six, because I think that they would be a handful. They would be totally annoying to play against. So how about let's go top heavy, and especially when Gabbert comes back, let's go offensive top heavy in the top six, and just have the bottom six buy into roles. Wear down the other team's defensemen and do your damnedest to not get scored on. I think that's what the Kings need to do. But right now, with Purcell and Pearson aren't doing Kopitar any favors. Dwight King is not doing Jeff Carter and Tyler Toffoli any favors. Dustin Brown and Devin Setaguchi are not doing Nick Dowd any favors. So how about we put our best offensive guys with our best offensive guys? Capitals win in overtime. Which is great for my wager. Awkward turnover behind the net. That led to a Bobby Ryan chance. Good save by Jeff Zakoff. Zakoff makes a couple of saves at the end of that first period. 14-8 shots in favor of the Kings. 14-10 in favor of the Kings as far as faceoff goes. So actually, they really, to be completely honest with you, even though it was fairly uneventful, the Kings probably deserved to score in that first period, but it didn't. So if you deserve to score but you don't score, there's nothing to talk about. So to the second period, Jeff Carter, Dwight King makes it 1-0.
So that one went right through everybody. Good pass made by Setaguchi. Puck loose, high, just rolled up high. And it'll be the Senators back the other way. Poke check away. Brassard had the opportunity, fanned on with the new ice. Enters intercepted and a turnaround. Bristol didn't get the shot off. Carter in. Backhander. And he scores! Backhand chance on a turnover. And the Kings are on the board as Carter picks up number 6.
So Ottawa turns it over. And actually, Teddy Purcell, I think, tries to make a move around the defender. But it accidentally falls to Jeff Carter. And Jeff Carter takes a backhanded chance that goes off of Dwight King's knee and into the net. So, Dwight King locked on that top 6 now with his beautiful snipe goal. Dwight King has 2 goals this season. One of them went off his foot. One of them went off his knee. Sniper. God, I hope he stays in the top 6. Actually, and also, like, I think one of the first goals, it made it like 6 or 7-0 against Toronto. What's he doing with really, really talented players in Jeff Carter and Tyler Toffoli? What's he doing? One nothing though. So I guess good on Dwight. Ottawa almost scores the next shift because that's typical Kings fashion. As soon as we score, we really try to give it right back, like instantly. Thank God it didn't happen this time. It was a really good challenge by Zatkoff on the scoring chance I'm talking about. Zatkoff was very aggressive, came out and challenged and actually made a nice save. Delay of game at 4:01 on Zach Smith. Kopitar has a great chance on this power play. The Kings moved the puck. On their first 2 power plays, they moved the puck very well. But on this specific power play, Kopitar was in practically all alone. And tried to go low block, which is the right shot. Craig Anderson made a nice save. But Kopitar obviously is snake-bitten, and he's obviously thinking about being snake-bitten. And which is very unfortunate because we're going to need him to score. Muzzin goes off at interference at 7:34. Another big save. There was a rebound that came out. Zatkoff made a huge pad save on this penalty kill. Very, very unorthodox, this Jeff Zatkoff, but he was getting it done. He, again, as I said at the top of the show, he was in his comfort zone with the game being awkward. It's unfortunate he had to come out. Too many men at 9:12 gave Ottawa a very short 5-on-3. The Kings killed the 5-on-3, and then Kopitar and Toffoli have what should have been a 2-on-0. And this actually should have iced the game. But Kopitar was a little bit gassed. You know, Kopitar is not a very speedy player to begin with. He's not slow, but he doesn't have a lot of speed. He's a very average skater when it comes to speed. And Erik Karlsson very easily caught up to him. Toff did enough to deteriorate Kopitar basically had a breakaway from the far blue line in and just happened to miss. Big chance. And that really could have iced the game. You know, like I said about 45 seconds ago, Kopitar is snake bitten. So something, I don't know what it takes to come out of that. A goal, a lucky goal, a Trevor Lewis accidental type goal like that. Something. Lewis goes off for tripping at 16:36. Nothing comes of it. 24-18 shots of LA in favor of LA at the end of the second period. 25-19 in face-offs. Just really quickly, now that I'm going to give you the stats at the end of the game. The shots are 33-33 an even draw, and 31-36 in favor of Ottawa. So the Kings really did themselves no favors by taking their foot off the gas pedal because they thought that they could hold a 1-0 lead. They thought apparently that's enough. Guess what? It's not. Total and utter disappointment with the way the Kings played that third period. Sitting back, prevent-wise, I understand it's their third game in 4 nights. But a part of you has to go out there. It's only a 1-goal lead. It's 1-0. Go take the game by the jugular. They didn't do that. In fact, Ottawa did. Ottawa ran rugged on us in the third period. And obviously now Kopitar, towards the start of the third period, got hurt. on what looked like a nothing play. Remember that play? We were playing Colorado at the end of the year. This is the first series we had against the Sharks. And when we missed Kopitar, it was the same type of injury. Kopitar gets hurt on like nothing plays. I hope he's okay. I mean, he made attempts to come back, but just went right back down the tunnel. Again, just what a stupid nothing game to potentially get seriously hurt in. If he goes down, if he's out for an extended period of time, it's bye-bye season, and it's time to sell. I swear to God. I mean, that's not like knee-jerk reaction stuff. If Kopitar is out for an extended period of time, ship off some of these guys. It's sell time, and let's try again next season. Dead serious. So I really, really hope nothing for the. If that MRI comes back and it's bad news for the Kings, then let's take a rain check on this season. Helter skelter in the Kings' end after that happened. I mean, Ottawa was buzzing the whole entire third period. I thought maybe we would hang on, but Zach Smith equalizes at 16:06 of the third period.
Long shift for the Kings. Backhander, centering pass, gets blocked, and it's cleared out by Purcell.
The Kings still have their timeout, so in that situation, you can take that icing and maybe have a timeout to rest.
Right back in on a shot off the blockers. Clifford again takes the opportunity. Found himself open as he just spun around and took it. And the Senators putting some heat on. Again, down low, shot, safe, and they score! On the rebound! They tied it up! Zach Smith, 2 chances, and the second one not to be denied.
Zach Smith at 16:06 from Pajot. God, bro, these French-Canadian names. I swear to God, as I said the last night, I'm not trying to mispronounce French-Canadian names like Don Cherry does on purpose. I straight up don't know. Pajot. Zach Smith from Pajot and Erik Karlsson at 16:06. And I was thinking overtime. I felt safe, okay. They broke through. We'll get to overtime where the Kings are actually pretty good in for whatever reason. We're good at gimmicks. We're good at the shootout. We're good at overtime. Nope. Mark Stone, 1953, wins the game for the Ottawa Senators.
Muzzin dropped it to nobody. Just rolled through everybody from off-game bank to get it. Down to 23 seconds left to go. Senators have time for one more rush. 1-1 game here in the third period. Worked into the middle. They'll send it to the near side, trying to get to Carlson, who is cutting in. Shot, save, rebound, score! They score! Mark Stone! Mark Stone with 6.5 seconds left.
Mark Stone at 1953 from Carlson and Pajot. Again, game over. Bye-bye. Drive home safely. Bro, I don't know what Peter Budaj is fighting this shot off for. It was nothing shot. Actually, if he let it go, Carlson's shot would have rang off the glass and possibly came out of the zone. Budaj fights it, and just drops, and Mark Stone just comes up through the crease and scores. What I failed to mention on the Zach Smith equalizer, I do think that Jake Muzzin got impeded with. I think that's interference. I actually think it's a penalty on the guy, whoever impeded Jake Muzzin. Jake Muzzin just got put on his ass for no reason, out of nowhere. On Stone's winner, Jake Muzzin is slightly impeded with, but really that didn't. It didn't affect the goal or anything like that. I do think it affected the equalizer. So as I said, I said this already before, but one of the two is interference. But there's a history. I think like being I'm not being a conspiracy guy here, but I remember not recently, but remember when Ryan Smith clearly his stick was under the bar and he tipped one in. The Kings were supposed to beat Ottawa, and they went to the control room in Toronto, and they inexplicably called it no goal. I don't know if you guys remember the goal that I'm talking about, but I do think there's a Canadian bias when it comes to the Toronto control room. Especially when that's just Ottawa too. Can you imagine how bad it is when if it goes to review in Montreal? Again, not to play conspiracy. A conspiracy isn't why we lost tonight. The Kings just lost. Peter Budaj made a mess of that. That's why we lost. I'm not necessarily blaming Peter Budaj either, because with no warm-up, sitting on the bench, watching that snooze fest of a hockey game, and having to come in a high-pressure situation, I don't blame him. But, God, what a mess. And I think it just goes back to what I was saying before. The Kings don't believe in the goaltenders they have on the roster right now. Available, I mean. There's no belief. That's Jonathan Quick's best quality. They believe in him. So maybe I possibly said it wrong earlier. I don't think they play less hard in front of goaltenders who aren't quick, but there's less belief. So there's something that happens when you have a goalie that you don't believe in, and you're a player on the bench, and you see a goal go in, you turn to your teammate to left or right of you and you go, oh God, here we go. Now, when you have a guy that you believe in, like Jonathan Quick, and a goal goes in, as a player, you go, okay, let's fight, let's get one back for him. It's just a completely different mindset. I know people out there, the analytics guys, are probably not going to understand that. But that really is the thought process. From it's not just like a junior hockey thought process. It goes all the way up to the top level. You have to have a belief in your starting goaltender, and the Kings they just don't right now. Now, whether that disbelief is fair or just, that's another topic for a different day. I could probably fill a whole hour on what I think about Jonathan Quick as a goaltender. But I'm not going to do that because he's not playing goalie right now. Zatkoff and Budaj are. That's a frustrating one. Really, the Kings have no one to blame with themselves. You got to go out there in the third period and take the game by the horns, and they didn't do it. Player-by-player review. Purcell accidentally had a nice pass. I don't think Purcell was bad. I think Kopitar was pretty good on night long. I missed a lot of quality chances, Anze Kopitar, but I think that Anze Kopitar was very, very good. Tanner Pearson. Look, he just doesn't fit on that line. Pearson fits with Jeff Carter and Tyler Toffoli, but here's the whole thing. With obviously the Kings kind of struggle to score goals this year. Who's your best goal scorer who's the best goal scorer on the Kings? For my money, it's Jeff Carter. Okay, so I wouldn't have Jeff Carter be playing center, because what happens when you play center for this hockey club? There's so much responsibility that comes with playing center for the Los Angeles Kings that if a guy like Jeff Carter's playing it, he has to focus on other things than simply just focusing on scoring goals. I would definitely have Jeff Carter play on the wing. And when you have a guy like Nick Dowd who is a natural center, I would probably put him in the middle and stop putting him with Brown and Setaguchi, who are, again, as I said, complete wild cards. You never know what they're going to do. I would put Nick Dowd with actual skill. And Jeff Carter has actual skill. Tanner Pearson doesn't fit with Kopi and Purcell. So how about something else? Go top heavy. Go with your best offensive guys. But the whole point of that was I don't think Jeff Carter should be playing center. It's just too much. He's doing a good job at what he's being asked to do. Make no mistake. By the way, I always do man of the match. It is Jeff Carter. Because Jeff Carter had a really good game tonight. He did everything that Jeff Carter barely ever doesn't do his job. He was great defensively. He's always been great defensively. But it's just, that guy is our best goal scorer. I don't want him to have Anze Kopitar responsibilities. I want him to score goals. Okay, so I would not have him on center. Toffoli was fine, I think, tonight. Toffoli is a very, very when he wants in the offensive zone, he's very quick to get on loose pucks because he's a goal scorer and he sees red. Dustin Brown did not play bad tonight. Nick Dowd, obviously, I thought this might be our best line, and it all goes through Nick Dowd.